and welcome. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Ishita Mitra, the show where we get you all the stories that matter, all the stories that have been making headlines throughout the day. Now, first up, we talk about Congress's sabotage attempt at AI Summit and how Prime Minister Modi has responded to that, calling out the grand old party for its dirty, naked politics. Next up, we also talk about, in a big crackdown on terror, how 8 suspects have been arrested with links to Pakistan's ISI and terror groups in Bangladesh. Now, the suspects arrested from the state of Tamil Nadu and West Bengal were in fact planning for a major terror strike. Next up, we also take a look at how tensions are flaring up once again between the two neighbors, Afghanistan and Pakistan. This after Islamabad conducted strikes in border areas, killing at least 23 people. Now, condemning the strikes, Taliban has in fact vowed revenge to those strikes. We also talk about how, in a big jolt to Congress in Assam, a former party president Bhupen Bora has called it quits after 32 years and now joined hands with the rival BJP ahead of the polls. We bring you an exclusive conversation with him in this show. Now, we also take a look at Gurugram's horrifying case of a student being tortured for 3 days by a man she met online. Now, this girl hailing from Tripura was thrashed, her private parts were set on fire, and currently she is receiving a treatment but is still in critical condition. And at last, we talk about how the self-declared Shankaracharya Avi Mukteshwar Anand has now been booked under the POXCO Act along with his disciple Mukundanand Giri. All this and more lined up for you ahead on 6 Stories at 6. Now, beginning with a global AI summit meant to showcase India's technological rise and now at the center of a massive political showdown. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched a blistering attack on the Congress, and this after the Youth Congress workers staged a shirtless protest inside the AI summit at Bharat Mandapam. Now, Prime Minister Modi said it is the dirty, naked politics of Congress on display. Take a look at this report.
A global stage turned into a political battleground. At the India AI Impact Summit in New Delhi, Youth Congress workers stormed into a hall, that too shirtless. Protesters arrested and sent to police remand. PM Modi calls it an attempt to defame India. Addressing a gathering, PM Modi accuses Congress of turning a national event into a platform for dirty and naked politics.
कांग्रेस को याद रखना चाहिए था कि एआई ग्लोबल समिट ये बीजेपी का समारोह नहीं था और न ही उस समय बीजेपी का कोई नेता वहां मौजूद था। ये देश का कार्यक्रम था, देश के सम्मान का कार्यक्रम था, देश के लोगों के पसीने से। लेकिन कांग्रेस ने परसों सारी मर्यादाएं तोड़ दी और पूरा देश कांग्रेस की इस रीति नीति पर थू-थू हो रही है।
Prime Minister says the protest showed how ideologically bankrupt the grand old party has become.
ये जो एआई सम्मेलन हुआ, आपको गर्व हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? भारत के भाग्य को बदलने के लिए हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है? 21वीं सदी में लीडरशिप लेने के लिए हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है? पूरा देश गर्व से भर गया। लेकिन कांग्रेस और इसके इकोसिस्टम ने क्या किया? साथियों, कांग्रेस ने भारत के एक वैश्विक आयोजन को अपनी गंदी और नंगी राजनीति का अखाड़ा बना दिया।
He reminds Congress that the AI Summit was a national event not organized by BJP. He says the entire country was proud of AI Summit, but some parties cannot digest India's success.
समारोह स्थल पर विदेशी अतिथियों के सामने कांग्रेस के नेता कपड़े उतारकर पहुंच गए। मैं कांग्रेस वालों को पूछता हूं, देश तो जानता है आप पहले से ही नंगे हो, फिर कपड़े उतारने की जरूरत क्या पड़ी?
Showing no guilt or remorse, the Congress has defended its protest, but the incident has ignited a fierce war of words. A global tech platform, now a flashpoint in India's political battle.
And now, viewers, as Delhi remains on high alert, 8 terror suspects have been arrested in a major counter-terror operation by the Delhi police. Now, the arrests have been made from the states of Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, where Delhi police say the suspects were allegedly plotting a massive terror strike. Now, this group was in fact acting with support from Pakistani handlers and also had links to Bangladesh-based terror outfits. And this, viewers, is coming in just 24 hours after an intel on major terror attack being planned in the Delhi NCR on religious sites. Here are more details on this, how this bid was foiled by Delhi police. Take a look. A major terror plot has been busted. A coordinated crackdown across 2 states and a chilling terror conspiracy allegedly aimed once again at the heart of India. Delhi police have foiled what they describe as a massive terror plot targeting the national capital. This is a major breakthrough for the security agencies and Delhi police. 8 people, including a Bangladeshi national, have been arrested from Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. The cops allege the plot had cross-border links with support traced to Pakistan's intelligence agency and operatives connected to Bangladesh-based terror groups.
Shabir Ahmed Lone is a Pak-trained terrorist. He is a Lashkar terrorist. And he is again based in Bangladesh and trying to revive his contacts. So it's a matter of common understanding that it is being done at the behest of some foreign handlers.
Meanwhile, as per internal sources, the accused were allegedly in the process of mobilizing resources, identifying targets and coordinating logistics. Security agencies believe the plot, if executed, could have had devastating consequences. Commenting on the arrest, Delhi Police Special Cell stated some major facts.
Some posters, anti-national posters, were affixed on pillars of metro station near Kashmiri Gate. A metro unit of Delhi Police acted very swiftly and efficiently on this information, and they had identified the persons who had affixed these posters, and they had backtracked that these persons had come from West Bengal, Kolkata, and they had gone back to Kolkata. This information was shared with Special Cell.
Police also stated some suspicious videos were found in the suspects' phones.
2 persons were arrested from Calcutta. These 2 persons were Umar Farooq and Robul Islam. Umar Farooq is a resident of Malda. Robul Islam is a Bangladeshi national. And from their interrogation, it was unearthed that they were being handled by one Shabir Ahmed Lone. Shabir Ahmed Lone had tasked them to affix these posters. He had also tasked them to take on rent a larger accommodation where more people can be accommodated. And as a part of that process was that some more persons were to join them. It was learned that they were in touch with some 5-6 persons who were based in Tripur district of Tamil Nadu through one Shadul Islam based in Bangladesh.
The arrest came only within 24 hours of an intel input that warned of possible terror attack being planned by Lashkar in Delhi. Meanwhile, Delhi continues to be on high alert. Surveillance has been intensified at temples, markets and historic sites as they are reportedly on the radar of Lashkar-e-Toiba. The alert in Delhi comes in the backdrop of the deadly November 10 Red Fort blast which killed 15 people last year. All right, viewers, now shifting focus to some international news. The Pakistani Air Force carried out airstrikes targeting a religious seminary in the Barmal district of Afghanistan's border provinces. Now, Pakistani fighter jets launched multiple strikes in the Khogyani district of Nangarhar province, resulting in the deaths of nearly 23 people. Now, the Taliban Ministry of Defense has condemned Pakistan's airstrikes on the parts of Nangarhar and Paktika provinces, calling them a clear act of aggression. Here are more details on how tensions are flaring up between the two neighbors.
Pakistan is at it again. Attacking Afghanistan's madrasas and homes, ordinary innocent civilians killed. To hide its own security failures, on Sunday, Pakistan carried airstrikes on Afghanistan's border areas in Nangarhar, Paktika and Paktikya. Pakistan claims that at least 7 TTP hideouts and camps were hit in the air precision strikes. Pakistan claims that these TTP militants were the ones who planned recent strikes in Islamabad and in northwestern Bajaur and Bannu districts in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Dozens have been killed in Afghanistan. An eyewitness says in the overnight strikes, mostly young men, students were killed. All were inside madrasa when the tragedy struck. At least 16 members of a single family were killed in Behesud district.
ډیر غټ زیاتې وشو په دې روجه کې په دې دغه کې الله دې تاسو ټول سره قوت چې تاسو به تور شپراله لې او دا کارو به دغه مړي راوځي دا راوځي دا یو کوټه کې ټول ورور مې ټول به دې سره پروت دي دا زین ورته وخای چې وخت دا ټول زین او خرجا زین ټول زین دا دلته مفتاح مو ځخ راوخته دا برانده و دې کې ډاکشن ولا ډاکشن یې تشتري دا کسان اوس پته نه لري چې دا څه تشتري دې کې دا ما بل یو نو پرتاګه نه اوس پته نه لګي چې کوم ځای کې لږه درې مړي تر څلور مړي د بچو کوي پینځه نو ټول دلته غیب دي وو اندته ټول غیب دي.
A day earlier on Saturday, a militant on explosive-laden motorcycle rammed a security convoy vehicle in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. 2 soldiers, including a lieutenant colonel, were killed. This is not the first time Pakistan and Afghanistan have come so close to a full-blown conflict. In October, Pakistan carried out its strikes deep inside Afghanistan. Then, a ceasefire was brokered with the mediation of Qatar. But relations remain strained between the nations, with peace hanging in the balance.
Now, viewers, former Congress Assam President Bhupen Bora has joined hands with the BJP, quitting Congress after 32 years of being in the party. And this comes right in the time of elections. Now, Republic TV has spoken exclusively to him as he takes up this big political leap. Take a look.
After 32 years of long association with the Congress, former senior party leader Bhupen Bora quits. He says he was disrespected, flagging leadership paralysis in Congress. Says any self-respecting Assamese must not side with Congress. And today he joined hands with the BJP at a function held at Assam BJP headquarters, the Vajpayee Bhavan. After his switch to BJP, Republic TV spoke exclusively with the former Congress state in charge in Assam, where he levelled explosive allegations against Congress's Gaurav Gogoi and Jitendra Singh. In the explosive interview, first on Republic TV after joining BJP, Bora says Congress has given a complete walkover to BJP. He says Gaurav Gogoi became Pradesh Congress Committee President to stop his career.
It's almost walkover. Only Congress workers are not aware of this. Gaurav Gogoi and his team is fully aware of this. That this is a walkover. They are not coming to lead the party. He became PCC president only to stop my political career.
Bora says today Congress is trolling him, but alliance between other regional parties and Congress will not materialize. He said Gaurav Gogoi and Jitendra Singh took 2 crore rupees from the candidate in Bihali during bypoll.
And there was a rumor not rumor. One cabinet minister from BJP, he tweeted that Gaurav Gogoi took 2 crores from the candidate who is a non-Congressy. Jitendra Singh took 2 crores from the candidate from Bihali, which is a non-Congressy. And because of that candidate, alliance was broken and I was compelled to resign.
Bhupen Bora claims Congress is not at all interested in 2026 elections. Bora also remarked that Gogoi is only busy because of his personal agenda and to secure his career.
And few young generation Congress leaders, they are now planning to protect their political career for next 10 years. If they will get the ticket, the organization will go to their hand, they will work there, and they are planning and thinking that next election they will come to power.
So what
Planning is going on for 2029 and 2031 in Congress. And BJP is fighting for 2026. Congress is planning for 2029 and 2031.
He called out Congress's Muslim appeasement politics, saying if Congress comes to power, 40% seats will be reserved for Muslims.
And now one of the spokesperson of APCC, from APCC spokesperson, some Khan, Mohsin Khan, declared that when Gaurav Gogoi will become CM, Congress will come to power, 45 seats will be reserved for the Muslim.
The question is, will Bhupen Bora be fielded in the upcoming elections in poll-bound Assam by BJP? If he is, his grassroots connection with people in Assam will benefit BJP big time.
And now viewers, in a chilling and deeply disturbing case from Gurugram, a 19-year-old woman from Tripura has come forward with shocking allegations against her live-in partner, accusing him of subjecting her to horrifying violence that reportedly continued for 3 long, terrifying days. Now, her mother has shared a horrific audio of the incident. At present, the victim is in a critical condition and fighting for her life in the hospital. Here are more details about how this incident took place, how it went from meeting the man online to being trapped in his house for 3 days. Take a look.
A 19-year-old student was allegedly beaten up, physically assaulted, and smashed her head against the wall and furniture. She was choked, her lips and tongue burnt. This is the horrific ordeal of a 19-year-old student living with her partner in Gurugram. The assault by her live-in partner in Gurugram became ever more gruesome when the man allegedly poured sanitizer on her private parts and set them on fire.
उसने मुझे पहले वो किया, बहुत मारा, अच्छे से बहुत ज़्यादा मारा, ज़मीन पर फेंक के बहुत ज़्यादा मारा। उसके बाद उसने मेरे सर पर वो मिट्टी का मटका दौड़ा और स्टील के ग्लास से, स्टील के बॉटल से सर पर बहुत ज़्यादा मारा। उसके बाद रात मारा, अलमारी में जाके देखे मारा सर को, फिर घसीटते हुए दीवार में देखे मारा सर को जाके, फिर उसने फिर मेरे होठों को लाइटर से जलाया, मेरे जीभ को लाइटर से जलाया, फिर और मेरे प्राइवेट पार्ट्स को, मेरे हाथ को भी होल किया, तो उसको भी सैनिटाइजर से जला दिया। मैं बहुत चीखती थी, वो जब भी मैं चीखती थी वो मेरे मुंह पे लाते मारता था या तो मुक्का मारता था।
The horrific crime was reported after the woman registered a complaint with the police. The survivor told police that her partner allegedly struck her on the head with a metal bottle, smashed furniture, and attacked her with a knife as well. Meanwhile, medical examinations confirmed she sustained multiple severe injuries as she continues to remain in hospital for treatment. Republic spoke to the mother of the victim, and this is what she told us.
क्या हुआ है आप बता सकते हैं पूरा इंसिडेंट?
मेरा लड़की इधर आया पढ़ने के लिए जीडी गोयंगा में। इधर एक लड़का को साथ किया, मुलाकात हो गया और क्या हुआ पता नहीं मुझे। 3 दिन लगातार एक घर में एक कमरा में बंद करके उसको 3 दिन लगातार जो किया उसको साथ ये बोल नहीं पाऊंगा। ये मेरा लड़की का प्राइवेट पार्ट में के सैनिटाइजर डाल के आग लगा दिया। उसको लेग और हैंड को ये चार्जर का तार से बांध के बहुत पिटाया, उसको सिर पे बहुत आघात किया, उसको मुंह में सुसु किया ये लड़का।
Republic also spoke to the victim's lawyer.
The victim is in ICU and even mother को भी अंदर ही रख के बिल्कुल बाहर नहीं आने दे रहे थे। तो मैं इतना ट्राई कर रही थी 2-3 घंटे से, लेकिन पुलिस वाले एकदम बाहर तैनात बैठ के कुछ भी, दिस इज सिंपली दे वांट टू सप्रेस द वॉइस। एंड FIR में अगर आप देखें ना, बादशाहपुर का ये थाना का FIR है, वेरी वेग दिस वन सेक्शंस दे हैव इम्पोज्ड। दिस इज 376 रेप का एंड even attempt to murder ka, nothing, no serious this one sections has been imposed.
She is a biotechnology student and remains in critical condition at Safdarjung Hospital in Delhi after being shifted from Gurugram and AIIMS due to the severity of her injuries. Meanwhile, the police arrested the man, a Delhi resident, and sent him to judicial custody. An FIR has been registered under charges including voluntarily causing hurt, assault with dangerous weapons, sexual assault by false promise of marriage, wrongful confinement, and criminal intimidation.
पुलिस के द्वारा मामले में FIR रजिस्टर की गई है। FIR रजिस्टर करने के बाद में इसमें एक 19 वर्षीय व्यक्ति था, जिसको पुलिस के द्वारा गिरफ्तार किया गया है। ये व्यक्ति है, इसकी पहचान शिवम के रूप में हुई है। ये बेसिकली दिल्ली का रहने वाला है। फिलहाल पुलिस के द्वारा इसको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया है।
According to preliminary findings, the couple had met through an online dating app in September 2025, and the woman had moved in months later.
And now viewers, a special POCSO court in Prayagraj has registered an FIR against the self-styled Shankaracharya Avi Mukteshwaranand Saraswati and his disciple Swami Mukundanand Giri. Now this order follows grave allegations of sexual abuse involving minor children, with stringent sections of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act being invoked. Now this court's directive paves the way for a formal police investigation, potentially deepening the legal troubles for the religious leader. Take a look at this report.
A special POCSO court in Prayagraj has registered an FIR against self-styled Shankaracharya Avi Mukteshwaranand Saraswati and his disciple Swami Mukundanand Giri. The case was filed at Jhunsi police station in Prayagraj. The court's direction comes in connection with serious allegations of sexual abuse of minor children, invoking stringent provisions under the POCSO Act. Meanwhile, the self-styled godman Avi Mukteshwaranand has rejected the charges, calling them false and politically motivated.
तो जो फर्जी मुकदमा बना करके हमारे ऊपर दायर किया गया है, उसकी सच्चाई सबके सामने आएगी, तभी ऐसा काम करने वाले जो लोग हैं वो दंडित हो सकेंगे। तो इसलिए आवश्यक है, हम यही कहना चाहेंगे कि न्यायालय लंबा समय न लगाते हुए इस पर थोड़ी सी द्रुत गति से काम करे, क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोगों की निगाह इस पर लगी रहेगी। तो जल्दी से जल्दी इस पर गवाही साखी करे और निर्णय करे।
The complainant, Ashutosh Pandey, has welcomed the court order, calling it a step toward justice for the minors.
अब वह दिन दूर नहीं जब ऐसे कुकर्मी सनातन के नाम पर चोला ओढ़ने वाले ढोंगी लोग जो फर्जी शंकराचार्य अपने आप को लिखते हैं, मैं आज खुली चेतावनी देना चाहता हूँ। अखिलेश जी, आप बहुत चिल्ला रहे थे, चलिए मेरे साथ विद्या मठ पैदल यात्रा हम लोग आज से कर रहे हैं, और पंचम तर पे डिप्टी CM साहब आपको भी कह रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ चलिए। वहां पर जो स्विमिंग पूल दिखाऊंगा, वह कमरा दिखाऊंगा जिसमें ये ऐसे करते हैं, वहां सखियां रखते हैं, वहां बच्चों का कुकर्म करते हैं। सारे एविडेंस वहां पे हमारे बच्चों ने छुपा के रख रखे हैं, उसको विवेचना पुलिस के द्वारा निकाल के लाएंगे।
Police further said a case under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act has also been registered against 2 to 3 unidentified persons. The court has now directed the police to probe the evidence, a process that could significantly escalate legal trouble for the religious leader. A revered title under scrutiny and an explosive allegation before the law.
All right, viewers, that's a wrap on 6 Stories at 6 with me, Shita Mitra. Thank you so much for watching. News and developments continue on the other side on Republic.